The word talent can relate to so many different things. You can be a talented cook, a talented athlete, a talented writer, and so on. Every sign in the zodiac is talented at something, which will come from the planets ruling them. Pisces is a sign you will find talented at multiple different things, as it's a mixture of the zodiac as a whole. But if there's one thing Pisces can be very known for, is their music. Pisces is naturally a musically gifted sign, due to being ruled by Neptune, the planet of music, inspiration, dreams and dance, and Venus, the planet of art, beauty, love and harmony, is exalted in Pisces, giving Pisces a natural gravitation towards music. These two are not the only planets that indicates musical talent, but they are main factors. Also, not every Pisces you meet will be musically gifted, but these influences make it more likely to happen. Music is a concoction of energy. Energy that is not of this world, which is the same as Pisces, not of this world. So when Pisces connects with the energy of music and uses it, the effects will be felt in the soul of the listener. It's a frequency, a vibration. It's not something physical that you can grab, but it can touch you. It's never about face value when it comes to Pisces. It's what's going on behind the scenes. Pisces represents the non-physical, the spirit inside the body, and music is an energy that speaks to the soul. Music carries spiritual energy. You can't visually see musical energy, but you can see it through other physical things. Like you can see bass through the vibrations in your windows, you can see music through someone dancing to it, you can visually see it traveling through a person's entire being, watching their body allow itself to be taken by the energy. That can be a beautiful and scary thing to witness. A song can be playing nearby that you yourself aren't even consciously listening to, but then find yourself bobbing your head to the beat. How does that happen? Because it connected with your soul. You wasn't listening, but your soul was. And with Pisces being the sign of the soul, Pisces operates in a similar fashion. You can't actually see the Pisces. You just see the body, the person. When you get to Pisces, you are dealing with spiritual energy, divine energy. So when they channel it into something physical, the effects will be felt inside the viewer/listener. Music can make you get up and dance, and music can make you lay down and cry. Music can make you stand up and march, and music can make you surrender and die. Music can have a powerful control over the consumer. There's many examples of talented Pisces musicians over the years, like Johnny Cash, Rihanna, John Bon Jovi, Erykah Badu, Kurt Cobain, Nina Simone, Justin Bieber, Quincy Jones, Jhené Aiko, Chris Martin, Bad Bunny, Queen Latifah, Smokey Robinson, Timbaland, Nat King Cole, Seal, Method Man. I can be here all day listing names your mum and your grandma have heard before. But it doesn't always have to be music. It can be art. Well, music is a form of art anyway. It can be poetry, a flowing of words, a flowing of energy. That's what the creative energy means when it comes to Pisces. It's a flow. It's a stream. It's a wave that Pisces especially can jump on and ride. Because Pisces is an energy itself. It's water. It's formless. Just like musical energy. The same way a loudspeaker in a room can be blaring out music, you'll see the music trying to escape when it vibrates against the walls, rattles your furniture, etc. This is the same with Pisces on Earth. The mind, the soul, the spirit wants to escape, but it can't because it's trapped inside a body, so it will break out mentally and travel into the universe. This traveling is what allows Pisces to bring back beautiful pieces of that cosmic energy we know as music, for the good and the bad. Now, as always, this is Pisces we are talking about. You can't speak about the good without speaking about the bad. This channeling of energy, this dabbling of otherworldly energy can either work for the Pisces or not. But more times than not, when you are listening to a Pisces, what you are listening to is an exorcism of a demon. Yeah, what may be sounding beautiful and soothing to your soul could be a form of negative energy Pisces has released from itself into the world in the form of music. Where they found the remote to turn the TV on, where they've opened a portal to dump energy. Pisces is a part of the collective conscience. It's connected with all the good and bad in the world. For a Pisces to remain healthy, they do this disappearing thing now and then where they hide and cleanse themselves. This cleansing can be through meditating, sleeping, just being alone with their thoughts, or through a creative outlet like music. Negative energy that a Pisces comes into touch with has to be shifted. That includes non-physical and physical, internal and external. A Pisces can soak up negative energy from an area or person, take it home with them, and distribute it, consciously and subconsciously. But they can also bring a bad energy from out of this world, introduce it to the public, and dump it on them. But when the consumer feels it, it might feel good to them, not knowing they are engrossed in evil, and not knowing what that could be doing to their soul. What Pisces does with this musical energy is important, but more times than not, Pisces will be exercising their demons, their evil thoughts, through music. Pisces is a selfless sign, but when it comes to their creations, that's more of a release to them than a serving to the public. Pisces isn't here to entertain you. They can if they want, but art imitates life. Pisces are mainly projecting through art. They're here to protect you, but they have the tools to soothe their own soul as well as yours through many different avenues. Pain a Pisces could be going through that they put into a song and released it could be picked up by someone else and become their favourite song ever. Could be because they relate to the Pisces pain, or they just love the musical composition. But in this case, Pisces didn't make that song for anyone. It's like putting a confession note in a bottle and throwing it into the sea. You can find it and read it and connect with it, but it wasn't written for you. It was a release for the Pisces. The purpose was to release an energy inside, and this is why others don't understand why people as talented as Pisces can sometimes turn out bad, because they do not understand the fuzziness that goes on in a Pisces head. They see Pisces has got the remote, they see Pisces has turned the TV on, but while others may see a crystal clear screen, a Pisces could be seeing a fuzzy one. Fuzzy screen. One of the most common names when it comes to Pisces, talent and sadness that gets brought up is Kurt Cobain. I'll give you a quick summary on why. Kurt Cobain was your typical Pisces kid, happy life until his parents divorced. The divorce changed his views of the world, where he entered his own world and became withdrawn. He then had rocky living conditions, living here and there, even being homeless at some points. Around the age of 19, Kurt relocated and formed the group Nirvana. They became popular, got signed, and released their masterpiece album, Nevermind, shooting them into worldwide fame. All this fame was hard for Kurt to handle. He married another musician, Courtney Love, a Cancer, who was the mother of his child while still dropping music. But by now, he was also an addict and severely depressed, plus was popular for his turbulent marriage. A few years later, Kurt was rushed to hospital from a failed suicide attempt. He was urged to go rehab by those around him, but he left rehab few days after enrolling. Not long after this, Kurt was found with a shotgun alongside a suicide note for his wife and kid. Very sad story. But this is a common theme amongst Pisces that can be triggered by many different things, where the dreams get shattered by the reality, and even if the dreams picks back up, the reality will always remain shattered. It's just how the Pisces deals with it afterwards. One thing my mum always tells me about myself when I was younger, which I do not even remember, is there was a time she was thinking about leaving my dad and mentioned it to me. And I told her that she can't do that because she doesn't know the effect it will have on me. She was taken back by what I said at such a young age and delayed her decision because of it. But with Kurt Cobain, who knows how things would have been for him if his parents stayed together? It's not to blame the parents. If things aren't working out anymore, then it isn't working out. But these things have knock-on effects. But at the same time, Kurt might not have became famous if his parents' divorce didn't happen. You see how it's messed up? Now, as I said, not every Pisces you meet will be talented at music. or they might not even be into any type of hobbies. But I believe that's because they've either been conditioned a certain way or it just hasn't been unlocked. Sometimes it takes something traumatic to unlock that portal in a Pisces, because with music and a Pisces, it's one of the easiest ways to release energy, positive or negative, but with Pisces, it always begins with love. Like Kurt Cobain, he had a loving childhood that got turned upside down. A Pisces could go through some sort of heartbreak, some sort of realization that turns that love dark. And this is when they become more inclined to release that inner pain through an art, like a negative inspiration, where even though they've got the remote to the TV, the screen is fuzzy. Unfortunately, once that fuzz kicks into a Pisces head, it never goes. Once that door gets unlocked, the good will come with their expressed talent in terms of impressing others, but the bad will also come with it behind the scenes. You see this place where Pisces gets their wonderful ideas and inspirations from? It's a dark place. Not a magical place with pink dandelions. It's a dark place. Whether it's from far out in space or from the depths of the ocean. Either way, it's a dark place. Now, what you need to understand about Pisces is, we have the ability to make the ugly look pretty, the dark sound light, the evil sound heavenly. You could hear a Pisces song that can Gemini you, where it doesn't sound right in your head, but it feels good in your body, where you don't even like it, but you can't stop listening to it. Kurt Cobain once said, "When I listen to Nevermind, I hate the production, but there's something about it that almost makes me cry at times." I'm a firm believer in you are what you consume. Because when your soul doesn't relate to something, not if you don't, when your soul doesn't relate, then you cannot ingest it. You might as well have not listened to it in the first place. Your soul will reject it. And as I say, Pisces are mirrors here. We reflect you back onto yourself when you look at or interact with us. So if a Pisces shows darkness in a conscious or unconscious way, and you are attracted to it, then it's also in your soul. When you really understand how Pisces is and how they operate through the spirit, then you'll understand all the metaphysical shit that goes on with dealing with us. There's a well-known Pisces singer called Nina Simone, very talented musician, gifted. But before I knew who she was, I used to hear her songs and think it was a troubled man singing them. I think one of her most known songs is one called "Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood." Typical Pisces title. And another is "Put a Spell on You." But her tone used to sound like a man with a dark energy to me. I say man, but I don't really mean human man. It's hard to explain. So when I discovered she was in fact a woman, I was set back a bit. Because all these songs I've heard growing up, then hearing it's a woman, it was so weird. Then one time I watched her documentary on Netflix, and it started off with her looking kind of possessed, before she even started singing, just on the stage in silence looking around. And I cannot explain it, but from I saw that look, paired with the tone she sings with in my head, I just knew she was a Pisces. I just knew. So I went and done my Googles, and lo and behold, Pisces. I recommend watching it, but basically her musical talent was spotted early. She began playing the piano before 5, adopted an alias to perform in and earn in secret, was threatened by a club owner to start singing along with the piano, met a controlling partner, aligned with the civil rights movement due to experiencing racism from young, made some militant songs against the oppressors that led to her downfall, along with wanting to be free from performing every night, so got depressed, demon came out, etc. I won't ruin it for you, but it's about a Pisces basically. But what I'm focusing on is the energy. The songs are good, crazy talented woman, but that energy is dark. Does others realize this when they listen to Pisces? I won't know, but that's what's attracting them. It's what also attracts us Pisces towards each other too, because it's from where we're from. Some describe it as mystical, captivating, strange, unfamiliar, but I describe it as darkness. Even Justin Bieber, baby, baby, oh. Nah bro, those believers don't know their idol is fighting demons. Have you ever heard when a Pisces shouts or gets mad? it gets scary real fast. And if you could fine tune their frequency at this stage, like you're going through fuzzy radio stations, you will hear a demon shouting at you. You will hear a demon talking to you. That's the energy you are feeling and what shocks people when they witness it. So when a Pisces gets mad, it's not coming from a person being irritated place. It's coming from a channeling of energy place. So this is what will alarm others when they see or hear it in a Pisces, because their soul will pick up the real reality of what is taking place there and alert you. Your soul will be hearing or seeing that demon in the Pisces looking and shouting at you, where you will feel internally scared and not sure why, when on the outside, you could be fired up ready to war the Pisces. So as you're going up against the Pisces, you're also going up against yourself internally, where you're saying go and your soul is telling you no. I'll tell you this every single time. If a Pisces is angry at you, that's a demon that's angry at you. If a Pisces is coming for you, that's a demon that's coming for you. So same way a Pisces can use music to exercise their demons, they can use it to channel demons. And if you have a good ear or are connected like that, you will hear it in their tone when they go into that mode. And that's what I heard with Nina Simone's tone. And if you watch the documentary, she mentions her inner demons. You will see the demon in her at certain points. Nina wrote many notes of how she was feeling. And you see from a Pisces starts writing down their dark thoughts, even if it's in the form of a letter or music, that's already dangerous territory for the Pisces theirself and others, because it can easily go left. That energy is coming out. Where others may think, oh, at least you aren't bottling it up and setting it free. No, that's when it really gets dangerous, because it can easily escalate from a pen to a weapon. And where music can be a form of therapy for Pisces, where they need to write down their thoughts to release those demons, things start to make sense. Another modern day example is drill music. I know you lot are familiar with the genre. Chicago drill, UK drill, New York drill. It's a worldwide thing. Appeals more to the younger lot, but it glorifies violence basically. Real life violence. They mock the dead, laugh at your mum for crying at your funeral. A killer could make a music video at the person they've killed's grave, then taunt their friends for not responding. All that fuckery. UK drill gets a lot of stick, but it's just a representation of what's going on. London's rife with not only knife crime, but gun crime. It always has been. I don't need to sit here and tell you about London. It's all out there now, but there's a well-known guy amongst the younger lot in UK drill called Suspect. He's a Pisces and is considered one of the best to do it lyrically for his time. I'll give you a quick rundown on him too. So he had a bad upbringing, in and out of jail, running from home, gang activity, etc. Then a couple of his friends got killed in gang-related incidences whilst he was in jail. So when he came out, he led his gang and got into Grim Reaper mode, basically. He literally calls himself the Grim Reaper. Doesn't that sound familiar? So he basically came out of jail and caused carnage, then got known for 2 significant 187s, where one of the 2 he took part in was so gruesome that the police thought a shotgun did what a knife did. So after this, he and a couple others fled London on the run. Whilst on the run, he started building up his music career online, channeling all that demon energy into music, rapping about what he's done, using body doubles in videos. But he wasn't just rapping normally about what he's done. He was rapping creatively about what he's done and what he would do. Rapping things from A to Z. Another Pisces was historically known for his A to Z rap too, Papoose, who was on some godlike rap level. So not only was Suspect rapping about the truth of the 187s he did, he also was talented on a whole nother level lyrically, whilst having the story of being on the run and hidden somewhere in the world. So of course he got famous. Long story short, he got caught after 2+ years of hiding. He first went to France and settled in with local gang members, then next went to Kenya and got married, made his music, etc. But got caught due to sloppy decisions where his pictures gave away his location, where the public theirself tracked him down. This was probably a mix of fame getting to his head and a feeling of being untouchable, because luck can have Pisces feeling like that. Or he could have even got tired of hiding, because Pisces can stay hidden for a very long time. then turn theirself in many ways. They don't need to physically walk into the station to do so. So now he's serving a life sentence. But this is what I'm telling you about this dark energy Pisces has and can use music to release it. Suspect done his crimes, then used music as a way to creatively release the energy, which in turn got him famous. But at the same time, if he wasn't musically inclined with the need to shift demon energy, or confess, or prove a point, then he could have stayed hidden. From that mindset to move with the darkfish kicked in, the ability to make real talented music would have kicked in or at least leveled up at the same time. His dark energy in his music wasn't even hidden. The viewers knew it was dark energy, but easily took it in because he was talented, even though he was talking about evil things in an evil way. That's what shot him to fame. They hear the demon in his voice and like it. Same thing I've said before with other known Pisces demons, like Eileen Warner's. They can do the most hideous things, release the most demonic things onto this earth, and someone somewhere still look at that Pisces as an angel. Looking at their kid pictures and all that. Oh, where did it go wrong? That type of energy. And that's because Pisces can still show you that light side before and after a madness, even when the darkness is alive and kicking in them. That's how Pisces gets away with many things in regards to people. But from the law become aware of you, they will catch you eventually. Don't matter who you are unless you're really switched on, very connected and consistent. If Bin Laden can get caught, then so can you. The world we're in is governed. Now with Pisces, people will say things like, they're so good at this and that, why didn't they just stick to doing that talent instead of getting involved in other incriminating things or damaging themselves? Like I said, the talent is from a dark place. They are riding a wave of dark energy that will be expressed in multiple ways, simultaneously alongside the talent. But what the talent also is an insight to the Pisces world and can lead to confessions. Nina Simone once said, "Talent is a burden, not a joy. I am not of this planet. I do not come from you. I am not like you." Nothing can stay in the dark forever, and we know the 12th house is the house of secrets, but that Pisces shifts energies to cleanse itself. If the secrets or feelings they are holding contains bad energy, then it will get released one way or another, whether that's on the mic, or from their trigger finger, or to their lord. So what will end up happening is, a Pisces can easily end up revealing themselves through art if they aren't aware. Like a Pisces can have thoughts of robbing a bank. Then try to shift that thought by going to paint something. If the Pisces isn't self-aware and lets their brush just paint without thinking, that completed painting will show someone robbing a bank. It all starts in the mind first in this physical body, where it comes from out of the world, then into the mind, then into the actions as the last step. So when it's in the Pisces mind, it can get revealed if the Pisces is loose. If the actions was done in secret and the Pisces isn't careful, then they will end up confessing to it too. It will have to come out some way or another, and that is what drill music is. It's confessions of real crimes. So when you see a Pisces sitting on top of that, held as one of the best to do it, then it sums up what I'm saying about that dark energy the Pisces talents comes from and with. A Pisces can be the best to do something and not care about it. They can be completely engrossed in what else has come along with that energy. So while you're nodding your head, connecting with the music, in the Pisces head, they are trying to control the rest of where that inspiration came from. It gets fuzzy in there. Some Pisces have that insight and foresight early, whereas with others, insight and foresight gets activated by hindsight. But hindsight can be way too late when it comes to Pisces because we're about extremes. So when we're forced to reflect and gain wisdom, more times that's after. We fucked up real bad. A fully matured Pisces has that 3D view. Insight, foresight, and hindsight. Some people can go studio, put down their thoughts and leave it at the studio. That's hard for a young Pisces to do. You can't be screaming artistic expression to the law if you get found in possession of that art you're expressing. Art imitates life. It's one thing rapping about hooking people up, but it's another when you're rapping about it with it in your pocket. And that is why now, UK drill is literally murder zone. Because all of them kids are like that. Before in a gang of 10, 2 of them are really about that. Now, the whole 10 are about that. Some are rapping about what they've done, and others are doing things so they can rap about it. That's gone beyond the zodiac signs and shit. But I mean in general, what Pisces raps about what they've done, or what they're gonna do when they're still in that lifestyle, or even if they've left it but not been caught yet? A stupid one. A dangerous one, but a stupid one. And that's the shark stage I've mentioned. The shark's always there, but you can have a time where the shark is leading the way in a senseless way. If a Pisces has served time for their crimes, then that's when they will tell you all about the fuckery they've been up to. See how much a Pisces cares about what others think about them when they have nothing to hide. But a matured Pisces in a normal setting keeps their mouth shut, unless somewhere deep down they want to get caught. I'm sure many of you listening are into some form of art, and it's a mode you're locked into. It's hard to detach from. Music or whatever your art is a full lifestyle. It's either 100% or nothing with Pisces. This is why we are prone to really fucking up because the talent doesn't come by itself. Unfortunately. Making the music or whatever is the easiest part, but what you've made that piece about or going through inside alongside with it is the hardest part. So a balance has to be found, because when you mix the talent with the negativity, it's like toying with an energy, and if you aren't mature enough or experienced to do that, you won't win, and everyone will see it because eyes would have been on you already. John Bon Jovi once said, "Nothing is as important as passion. No matter what you want to do with your life, be passionate." So you won't really find a Pisces that's just talented. They're connected to a certain frequency, and if it isn't channeled right, this is where it can seriously result in suicide or drug abuse or go in prison, just making bad decisions along the way, which won't make sense to an outsider, but it does to a Pisces. They say the music industry is evil, and I'm sure it is. There's many videos on artists who talk of how they're able to perform, which sounds like possession. There's one famous Virgo woman who gets brought up in these discussions all the time too. I think there's rituals where they allow their self to be possessed. They accept the entity into their self to become famous and talented. But with Pisces, this isn't an outside energy when it comes to art. It's an awakening of something within the Pisces themselves by connecting with another energy, which then can lead to other things. There's no selling of no soul in Pisces. If anything, it's a buying into it thing. Pisces can be possessed in many other ways, but when it comes to their talents, that isn't a possession. The talent's already in their soul. It just comes to the light with other things potentially. Depends what woke it up in the first place. It's where a demon already inside gets exorcised, not allowing a demon in. So the Pisces with negative thoughts that puts it into music or an art and gets popular, that could either be the start of something negative or the confession of another. Channels. If this energy the Pisces talent comes from is not channeled properly, you will start to see it in the person over time. Because the energy gets trapped, it becomes a loop. They will stay musical and soulful as ever, but internally, they will be fighting a losing battle in the end. Music's not just a singular energy. There's octaves and shit. You want a prime example of it? Watch a horror film with no sound. See how scary that film seems to you, with no highs in the jump scares, or lows in building suspense. I've already mentioned how the 12th house is a portal, and how Pisces have no barriers, so when doors are opened or unlocked, Pisces needs to be aware of what else came with it. Be aware of their self. Yeah, musical talent has popped up, but what else has come with it? Or where can this lead to? What are you doing with this energy? What birthed this energy in the first place? Pisces isn't born with a dissolved ego. Something happens during their life lesson to dissolve the ego, to let them understand there's no owning of nothing here. So match that ego with a talent and it tends to lead to a humbling, an internal humbling. because every Pisces will realize there's something special about themselves at some point or another, but that can get to our heads. Having something special about us doesn't mean we're more important than another. That's a part of Leo's dark side. So when a Pisces operates like that, the humbling will be sweet for the onlookers. I've noticed many UK Muslim rappers stopping after a while due to their religion. I'm not sure what the reason is or what it says in the Quran, but it's probably on the same levels of what I'm saying in this video. I think music itself is seen as evil in some readings. The Pisces that returns after the humbling either returns stronger than ever, using the energy in a healthier way than before, or as a shadow of their former self. It depends how hard Neptune slaps them. While the world sees that Pisces as talented, the spiritual world sees that Pisces as a connection. Nothing's free in this life, even your gifts. Everything comes with a price. There's no ownership in Pisces. Even paintings can contain energies too. Everything anyone creates has their energy in it. A spiritual copyright is on it. There's a few famous art pieces that I'm sure the majority of you are familiar with that I never even knew was made by the same man, let alone he was a Pisces. Michelangelo, who was nicknamed the Divine One, and it's not hard to see why, but same time he was known as hot-tempered, moody and critical of himself. So do you see the ugly that comes with the beauty? The Venus exaltation will be playing a huge role in this. Have you ever been to an art gallery and just stared at some pieces? Depending on how unlocked you are, how in touch you are with energies, you can feel the energies of some of these pieces. You can pick up a feeling of what the artist was going through when they made the piece, especially if it was a negative feeling. Positive energy can be felt too, but darkness is stronger in this world for some reason. If room A has positive energy and room B has negative energy, room B is going to affect your soul more. But a painting is physical. You may look at it a few times, then put it away or sell it. But if that same negative energy is released into music, then it's stuck there and can be repeated over and over again, creating a loop of taking in the energy and removing it every time the Pisces listens to it. If the Pisces' original intention with the song was to release the energy, then it's personal. Others listening may not be affected by it, but still not know they are dancing with the devil. But if that same Pisces listens back to it, that released energy will go right back into the Pisces. You think it's a joke? They say music can influence you. But how about your own music influencing you from the influence that influenced you when you first made it? When I see a Pisces talking mad negative in music or life in general, and then they only listen to themselves, they are dangerous because they are fully embodying that negativity. Seriously dangerous, because Pisces is about what they're about. You think Pisces is wishy-washy, but what about the Pisces that's tapped in and is locked in to an energy? That's when they're fixed. And try tell them any different at that time. I think every Pisces is always that one step away from doing a madness in general, anyway. So when I hear Pisces who did have a bad upbringing or experience at home and they're now letting it out in music, I just think, man, they need to be watched because the music potentially won't heal them, and that's what they're turning to heal them. They need to heal and then do music for best results for their own sanity if that's their thing. Music can be as dangerous as drugs and alcohol to a Pisces, as crazy as that sounds. And Kurt Cobain was entangled in all of that, and that's why his name gets brought up when Pisces gets brought up. Listen to Nirvana's Something in the Way. That song literally captures the message I'm trying to get across in this video. You ever had a dream where you're crying in your sleep, but when you wake up, your eyes are completely dry, but now you feel a dark cloud hovering over your head, where your soul cried, not your body, your soul. You don't know what deep is until you meet a true Pisces. You don't know what pain is until you meet a true Pisces that's experienced it all. And they can either take that out on you or themselves when they swim in those low vibrations. There's no guarantee they will make it back up to the surface. Coldplay Clocks is another sad, nostalgic-y, feely Pisces song. The lead singer Chris Martin's a Pisces. Yeah, I've got all these songs in one massive playlist. I haven't met anyone with a more random taste in music than me. If you're in the car with me, you don't know what the fuck's gonna play next. Could be Max B. Could be Kate Havnevic. Could be SWV. Could be Bobby Caldwell. The soul likes what the soul likes. The Pisces sign, the life lesson, is pretty scary stuff overall. It's so easy to go wrong, and you can't pick the family or environment you're born into. And the early years is so very important for any kid in general, but especially for Pisces, because we soak it all up, and it will get rinsed out eventually. It's just how. Music or a talent can be a cheat sheet to seeing what's going on inside a Pisces mind. Same as I said earlier, they will slip up, they will expose themselves. And also, if a Pisces tells you they will do something that is negative, then believe them. This is another thing. Pisces has got a reputation for fantasizing and telling lies, but those are potentially false promises. Depending on the Pisces, they may or may not be reliable. But anything negative that comes out of Pisces' mouth, always take that as a promise to save yourself or to just be alert. Because when Pisces says negative things, they mean all of it. It's the same effect where drunk people say the truth but blame it on being drunk. Pisces means all that shit and will do all of that too, if they haven't already. The positive things Pisces says is where the lies can be, to an extent, but the negative things is where nothing but the truth is located. Understand how things with Pisces are backwards. I think this element is really overlooked with the sign, because that negativity came from within. Those false positives could have just come from the mouth. So in regards to music, if that's your talent, you need to be aware of what it is, or you will get swept up by your own wave. So mind what you do with it. Some other signs knows how to deal with it just fine and not get trapped in the spiritual side of it, like Libra and Taurus for example, the other Venus signs. But that you as a Pisces can become one with it all as you're operating out of the soul. Proceed with caution. If you're a Pisces that doesn't know how to handle it or understand it all yet, then it's dangerous, because you will be turning to negative practices for the goodness of therapy, but you are still being led down a path of negativity if not navigated correctly. You see how the talent can be a gift and a curse. This is why some Pisces doesn't listen to their own songs or like their own music, because it's like listening back to a recording of a therapy session. It will feel that way to some. Pisces doesn't come alive with music. Something comes alive in the Pisces. The way around it, make positive music, or make music or create when you have positive thoughts. Trap that positive energy into something. So when you're feeling down, you can listen to that or view that to uplift your own self. Erykah Badu once said, "I consider my musical ability a gift from the Creator. It's not that I try to work hard or nothing like that. It's a gift. It was given to me, and I appreciate it." It's all about finding balance in the end, especially if you're a musician, because your fans may want that greasy shit, that sad shit. I've literally seen fans celebrating when certain female artists are going through a heartbreak, because it means that pain music will return. That breakup music, which they like and can relate to, so it's kind of fucked up. I'll always say negativity runs this world. You've just got to find some positives and try swim with it for as long as you can. So when it comes to those inner demons, Pisces, and your talent, find another way to release them. Go to the beach and scream into the ocean for all I care. Just be careful when using your talent to release your negative energy, because every single Pisces has them energies and they must be shifted, but how they're shifted is extremely important. Art imitates life. At the end of the day, Pisces has the power to touch people's souls and touch the whole world when they navigate their musical energy in positive and negative ways. But it's beneficial for the Pisces in the long run if it's positive music. And not only that, you soothe your own soul. You can literally time travel with music. Go back in time and forward. It's seriously a thing of beauty when a Pisces locks in without demons to release. But same time, Some of those demons is the reason you made some of the best piece of art the world has ever witnessed, so it's tough. Your fans could love you because you're evil. That's the world we're in. Just be aware, be careful Pisces, because we're the sign of karma. And that fat lady will sing loudest for us when it's over. Now shut your ass up, put your seatbelts back on, and make sure the aisle is clear. We'll be arriving at our destination shortly.